Guys, I need to be honest with you guys. I saw the Batman film, and what I'm about to say may or may not surprise you guys. It is worth the watch, guys. It's so awesome. Like, the film is so great. There's so many explosive fight scenes. The action, the Batmobile revving up, chasing down the Penguin in the streets of Gotham. It's so explosive. That's gonna slick, great, and cool detective work. Guys, I know I need to calm down right now, don't I? I need to calm down right now. Let me explain. The Batman film is near perfection. It is almost the best Batman movie out there. Now, I'm going to explain to you why it's the best Batman movie out there. Also, I got the bat suit ready for my Batman fan series, and I will not give you a sneak peek to it. It's like, yeah, I'm not explaining it to you. I'll explain it to you after the third episode has released. Be sure to check out the first 2 episodes, though. Anyway, we need to give Matt Reeves a round of applause. Like, his film's so good. It's a knee snapper. It's a legit knee slapper. 3 hours is worth it, though. It's 3 hours long, but that's okay. It's worth it. Let me just start from what defines Batman and who he is. Batman was a young boy named Bruce Wayne. Did the tragic, the guns alley, the crime alley, where his parents were gunned down by a punk. Where my parents were gunned down by a punk. That was a line from my Batman fan series, episode 1. Yeah, I know you. Now, let me define why I love Batman so much and why it's the first fan series I started working on. And first fan series that's been on my channel. Because, one, Batman is like this dark and gritty guy that you could kind of relate to. Like, you want to put on a vigilante outfit and go around beating up people, but he wants justice done for his home city. And I think if you live in a pretty bad place, like, who am I going to pick on? Who am I going to pick on? Who am I going to pick on? Pensacola at night. Yeah, perfect example. Pensacola at night is not very safe. Like, there's a lot of murders happening at night and a lot of crimes. Like, just check the crime rate. But anyway, the point is, like, you want your home to be safe. And, like, that's what I want. Pensacola to be safe at night. But clearly, I'm not going to dress up as a vigilante. Or am I? Okay, in all honesty, I'm not. So, like, the thing that makes the Batman fan series, not the Batman fan series. Forget about my fan series right now, Jay. Stop talking about it. Let's give Matt Reeves some time. Let's just give the love all to him right now. Okay? Though, anyway, the thing that makes the Batman film so good is that the fact that it focuses on that detective element and the psychology between Bruce Wayne and Batman. Like, the psychology on why Bruce does what he does every night. Even when Alfred gives him that dialogue saying, if you keep going on, there will be nothing left. Then Bruce literally says, I don't care what happens to me. And yeah, there's spoilers in here. Sorry, guys. I know. I haven't gave you guys, like, that long of a dot, and it's because the film just came out, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. If you're not really in for spoilers, though, leave the video right now. Anyway, you have been warned. So when Bruce says, there's nothing left for me, you could kind of feel like Bruce doesn't care what happens to him anymore, because he doesn't. He's like on this constant war. Like, he takes on the criminals, legit, like, takes on the criminals like they were the ones who killed his family. And we have not seen a Batman like that since, well, I would say Ben Affleck's, but his Batman is just a murderer, straight out. It's just a plain cold murderer. This Batman is brutal, but not a murderer. Like, first few minutes of the film, you can already see that he put the fear in Gotham. Even the citizens are scared of him. Like, when the bat signal shine, the one guy just robbed the bank, he drops the money and walks away. That just shows the fear. And the opening scene with the Skull Gang's like, Who the H word are you supposed to be? I'm not saying the word because this is a kids channel. Bruce just says nothing until he tries to attack him. Bruce beats the holy crap out of him, puts him on the ground, proceeds to beat him, and then my guy says, "I'm vengeance." The one that just shocks the word that just shocks everybody. And Matt Reeves did not just put that in there. That's just some type of. Yes, sir. Oh. Yes, sir. He's on. Oh. Oh. I'm finna go let him know that you want. Or. Okay. No, anyway, guys, sorry, that was me talking to one of my neighbors, though. Anyway, the Batman film is so legit, so awesome, that a fan like me would freak out if we ever talked about it like I am right now. I am trying to control myself. I am trying to control the hype that I have for this film, but it's starting to let me come out. Because all I could say after seeing the film was, I'm vengeance. I'm vengeance. I'm vengeance. I'm vengeance. I'm vengeance. So guys, Paul Dano's the Riddler. I mean, Paul Dano's, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm sorry, man, if I'm pronouncing it wrong, but his Riddler is scared the crap out of me in the audience. Wow. Okay, excuse me right quick, guys, while I go do something right quick. So, la-la-dee, la-la-da. So, let me just... Alright, YouTube algorithm, I'm back. Sorry, I had to do something for my grandfather right quick. And for a neighbor or grandfather. Nah, I don't feel like telling about it. So, anyway, next thing I want to talk about for the Batman is Bruce Wayne. The character announced the Batman Bruce Wayne. Now, Bruce isn't like how I portray my Bruce Wayne to be when he's outside the suit or not being Batman, or how he portrayed how any Bruce Wayne was portrayed when he's outside the suit of Batman. Usually they portray as this nice, funny guy, funny Bruce, jokester, while he's outside the bat suit, but when he's in the bat suit, he's like his real personality. But the Batman said, no, we're not doing that, bro. We're not going down that path. Today, we're going to do Bruce as a brutal, as like, he's really just the same as Batman. Like, he's serious. He does not do that too much. Like, he's just serious. He don't play that fake persona stuff. He's just serious, straight away brooding. Like, that's just how his Batman is. Yeah, like, straight away. Like, that's just how his Batman is. He's no jokester. He's, like, just portrayed that way. And I think it's an interesting turn. Like, I know a lot of people in the world hate it because that's not the persona of how Bruce is portrayed. And Bruce Wayne is the mask and all that. But I think this interesting persona works in Gotham. And, like, the tone that Bruce sets with his psychologicalness as Batman, he treats the criminals that he attacks as if they were him. Like, as if they were the man who killed his parents. He treats them with brutal results and with no, like, mercy at all. It's crazy. So, yeah, my thoughts on Bruce Wayne, I give him a 9 out of 10. Now, my thoughts on Catwoman. Zoe Kravitz was the greatest Catwoman in film. I'm going to be honest with you guys right now. She was the greatest Catwoman on film right now to this day. Like, I'm sorry, but to this day, she was the best Catwoman. Because, like, Catwoman on most Batman films weren't really as great as I hoped she would have been. Like, she's... Like, don't get me wrong. I love the character of Catwoman from the comics. Young, intelligent thief that ends up falling in love with the Batman throughout time. Like, yeah, I love the character of Catwoman, but she wasn't always portrayed as well on film. Like, Batman Returns, when she first got there, her the actress Catwoman that played 1989, well, not 1989, 1993 Batman Forever was not really more, was, I think she wasn't, like, I was confused for Catwoman, to be honest. I don't know what her motive was. Well, like, fall in love, kill the killer, fall in love with Batman thief. I don't know what that Catwoman was in love. And don't even get me started on the Catwoman film, 2004. Oh my God, that film sucked so bad. Where she had to stop, where she was. That Catwoman's a hypocrite. Stops the thieves, then robs the place. That version of Catwoman from her own film was a hypocrite. And I wish that film never existed. God, I have straight hate for that film. But we're not going to talk about that, and we'll never do a movie review on that. Right, Future J? Because Future J knows I will be coming for him if he makes a review film on that. Right, Future J? Dun, dun, dun. So anyway, so now then we had the Dark Knight Rises version of Catwoman, and she was not that bad actually. She was pretty cool Catwoman, a great feline fatale story, and was also kind of a pretty cool thief. So she had a pretty good motive for what she did, but Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman was awesome. Like, she had one motive. She didn't even plan to fall in love with Batman, but whatever. But push goes to shove, and there they go now. But even then, like, she still was focused on what she wanted to do. She didn't let Batman distract her. She wanted revenge. She wanted blood on Carmine Falcone for what he did. Because twist later in the film that we found out that he was her father. And twist, I know, right? It's not like we had it in the comics before, because we have, but it still felt like a twist because it felt so great. It felt so powerful, compaction, in the fact that he owed her money because he left her and her mother like that. That terrible situation, just pretty screwed up for Falcone to even do in the mafia. I know it's crazy, right? But hey, life screwed up. Life screwed up. Anyway, so I'm giving the Catwoman a 10 out of 10. Next up, guys, we have is Paul Dano's Riddler. And this is going to be the last one of my thoughts when it comes to straight to characters. Because I would do the whole roster, but that is a big film full of big cast members. And I don't think I have enough. I don't think I'm doing everyone. But in a future video, if you would like to see me do my thoughts on other future characters in a future video, let me know down in the comments. Although you'll really never do, but whatever, I don't care. I'm having fun with this. So, although that is rude, I just say that. So if I did offend y'all about the comments thing, I sincerely apologize. So anyway, the number one thing Paul Dano's Riddler get from me is that he's like a big portrayal, and he definitely stands out because in case y'all haven't read the novel, his Riddler is out for blood. If y'all read the prequel novel, his Riddler, I felt so bad for him, man. He felt so much pain, bruh. But like, it's okay because if I went through what he went through, I probably would turn to a murderous psychopath that wants to kill every last corrupt member of the world, or every last corrupt person in Gotham. Though I wouldn't do that, but hey, Riddler is crazy. Like he struck vengeance at Gotham, and he was like a copycat to Batman, like how in Batman the Dark Knight film, where Batman had these copycats. That's what Riddler is, except that he takes it to the extreme. He leaves riddles and clues after every murder scene against the corruption to show Bruce and expose the Wayne family, because he knows Bruce was Batman. So he uses it to expose the Wayne family. And even when we get, I will leave it in the final chapter of this video for you guys. On the final thoughts on this video. my final thoughts. I'll leave it for. But it shows when Bruce's parents get exposed. Literally, it shows the brutality and mental brutality Paul Dano can bring to people. And when they finally stop him, like when they finally stop him and Bruce gets shot with that shotgun, he feels pain. And when he gets that adrenaline and puts it in him, like I would think that's adrenaline or some type of liquid, some green liquid that he puts in him, and the from his utility belt, if he gets in him, he gets that adrenaline rush, jumps up, get on Riddler, starts pounding the literal crap out of him like this, and literally, like when Gordon pulled Bruce off him, and he looks at Riddler saying, "Who are you?" He says, "I'm vengeance." And literally, this is me. Yes! That is me, literally. Though, the film was like, I know this is probably like the craziest film review I ever did. You've never seen this side of me where I'm hyped up and I love comic books. Like, it just really nice. Like, because, let me be honest, the Riddler was never really my favorite Batman villain. It was always the Joker for me, but the Batman film made him, he wasn't even second place for me, but now he's second, 1.5 place actually. 1.5 place. He almost got the Joker. And literally, because really, when it came to him, a lot of times, especially in film, he wasn't really portrayed well. The Batman Forever, Riddler, I don't want to talk about him because of reasons. Well, I mean, Jim Carrey's a great actor, but his Riddler, I don't want to talk about him. And Gotham TV show Riddler was okay, not my favorite Riddler, but he was okay. Though when Paul Dano's Riddler came in, it reignited the hype I had, or what, ignited the hype I had for a character that I never really loved that much. Whew. No, let's get to the final thoughts of this video. Shall we, guys? Guys, at long last, we're at the final thoughts of this video. I didn't think I would make it. I didn't think I would pull all the way through with it. But I did. Now, say it with me, guys. It's the predictions I have for the second film. So, let me think, though. I know this might be a long shot, but let's start with the different prediction I think we have. And this one's kind of like all across the media. Bane might be in the second film. And because of the green adrenaline that Bruce used to heal himself back up. But it's a lot of people actually calling that the Titan serum. But that's a long shot, but a counter claim to that claim that I just made might be because why would Bruce have Titan serum in him? Maybe because this is a more brutal Bruce, and because he wants to fear in the god into Gotham. But, well, he did, until he figured out that when Riddler said I was vengeance, he started becoming less of a fear to Gotham and more of a symbol of hope to people of Gotham, and a symbol of fear to the criminal underworld at the same time. My boy Bruce pulled it through. Like, because as the song Something in the Way played, you saw Bruce trying to help people. At first, the family was scared to take his hand, but the mayor's son, who actually helped let Bruce pick him up and let him help out, and he's going to be the one to lead the way for people to start trusting the Batman. Because in the film, you saw some citizens who were scared of him because he was like, "Police, don't hurt me," after Bruce defeated the Skull Gang. And when Bruce actually saw that, he heads back home to meditate. Ending that beautiful film. So, let me just say those that I think might be in the film, in the second film, and predictions. Second film, I think this will be a long shot, but I think they're going to start introducing Robin. And here's the reason why. Because, one, Robin, like, let me get me wrong, but in The Dark Knight Rises, you know how they made their own Robin in a way, kind of. Well, I think they might do that in Matt Reeves' Bat trilogy with the mayor's son. Don't get me wrong, but I think that might be Dick Grayson. I know it's a long shot, but it might just be. It might be, okay? Like, you remember how in my season 1, episode 1 of the orphanage where my Dick Grayson came in. Which, yeah, that was Dick Grayson. I know what to say his name is Richard, but in the comics, in case y'all haven't read, Dick Grayson Robin's middle name is Richard. So, yeah, the guy that Scarecrow said corporate CEOs don't have time or patience to deal with orphan tragedy. Yeah, that was him. Yeah, I know. Let me stop talking about my Batman fan series and stop making so many connections to it. God. So anyway, like I was saying, it's kind of a long and hard shot. But hey, we got it. Though, another thing might be the Joker. And here's why. At the end of the film, Riddler's crying and complaining and thinking to himself how his plan didn't work. You hear a Joker, a creepy style laugh with the Joker saying, "Don't cry, mate. You couldn't cry, pal. You did good, huh? You gave him something. Now, let's get back out there and do it." And he starts with that evil laugh cackling. Not as good as Heath Ledger's from The Dark Knight, albeit, but it was still that cackle in Arkham State Hospital. Because, like, it was, like, so great. It had me literally in suspense of what would happen for the second film. I did not want that film to end, actually. I did not. That film could have went for another 3 hours. I don't care what they said, but that film could have went for another 3 hours with Joker and everything. Although it had to end, at the end. Okay, the next villain I think might be in there is Mr. Freeze, because of the fact that, well, it was confirmed and they could make a more darker, realistic version of Mr. Freeze. Probably, I know this is a long shot, but you could have him as a hitman, like they had the Riddler as an inspiration for the Zodiac Killer, so why not have Mr. Freeze as an inspiration for the Iceman Killer? I mean, it would make sense. Like, think of it like this: Mr. Freeze is a hitman, takes his victims, takes victims' dead bodies they kills, then freezes them, and then disintegrates them. Use some type of ice bomb, freezes them and disintegrates them. Like, that's like a complete advancement. Like, that's like a complete inspiration to the Iceman Killer. And that's like a complete gritty or realistic version of the Mr. Freeze. Like, it would be perfect, kind of. Next villain I think would be in there is more the Penguin, because albeit he was pretty good, but he didn't have enough screen time in my opinion. And another criminally underrated person was Alfred. I think that Bruce and Alfred could get some more screen time. Like, their screen time was good, but I think they could get a little bit more screen time, if you get my meaning. Hopefully, right? Too much to ask for? Nah. I think Mr. Reeves will pull through on the second one. Though, what did you think? What do you think of Twilight Batman? Let me know. This whole film thing changed my perception of Batman. Whew. So let me know what you think. Let me know. Do you hate it? Do you love it? Do you care about it? Do you not really care a lot about it? Let's think. Just let me know in the comments if y'all get them.